Okay, in this session here we're going to talk about changing out all the fluids on the 2018 Sportsman 850 high lifter. I don't think I'm really going to video me actually changing it out because it just takes too damn long. But I'll get you started anyways. So this is the stuff you're going to need. This right here is from the service manual here. You can read all that. That's the front and the back. Kind of gives you the torques and how much fluid and stuff like that. And if I flip this around, this one talks about the transmission. And if you can't read all that, here's the cheat sheets here. For the front, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need an 8mm. And the torque, you can see this, you're going to need a torque wrench. Well, you should have a torque wrench. And then all this stuff you want to, once it drains, you want to fill it till it comes out of the hole. Remember, these drain plugs, you're going to come out, they have a magnet on it, or they're magnetized, so you want to make sure you clean that. And then there's going to be that little gasket, that O-ring that you got to make sure that goes back on. So this is kind of what it looks like. Now, since I have this all ripped up and I'm kind of getting buck fever to get all this back together, I don't know if I really have time to have you guys watch the fluid come out and stuff, but there's your 8mm right there. Here's where the fill plug is, and then down below is where the drain plug is. And this is the front. And then I was thinking it had a ADC on it here, so I was ripping stuff up, looking for a reservoir. You know, like on this 850, I was looking for this. Here's your brake. Here's this one here. And so, of course, with the high lifter, you got to rip everything up. And there isn't one. I didn't know that. Well, that's how much I know. So there's the brake right here. And so does that make sense? So let's go in the back. Got a lot of stuff going on. I got a week off and I need to make a deer stand and all that good stuff. So here's the rear diff right here. Fill, drain right here. And then it's going to have a kind of a magnet on it to get all the fine particles. Make sure you do that. Clean that. And you can see I took I don't know if you call it a skid plate or the plate on the bottom here. I took that off for other stuff. So when you do this, you probably want to take this off here because when the black oil comes out, it's going to go all over the heck, all over the place. So I will actually probably put a funnel down in here to have it run out in a dish. And when we talked about having a deep dish pan so it doesn't splatter all over the place. Some people use rags, and I'm not into that. Maybe we'll go in the back and take a look at the one that's all ripped up, the other four-wheeler, so you have a better idea. I don't know if that'll help or not, but at anywho's, 8mm, pull these off, drain it, clean it, make sure you get the O-ring, check that, and then fill it back up. And on that sheet you first saw has how much fluid, but basically when it comes out, it starts to come out. I like to pause, just like on an outboard motor. I like to pause and make sure that the oil comes out, and I add a little bit more to make sure it comes out, and we're good to go. Alright, let's go in the back and take a look. Maybe that'll help you better understand. Okay, so we're gonna change out the front diff, and here's the deal. I'm tight spot here, and where the camera is, it's right next to, oh yeah, okay, it's right next to another four-wheeler, so I already got fluid coming out. So after you take the tire off, you got to make sure that the four-wheeler is level, and it is level right now, and there's some fluid coming out the front already on the fill, which sometimes that happens. Previous owner probably overfilled it. That's alright, we'll figure it out. So I just have such buck fever on this, trying to get this. I really want to get up and running today. That's why my video may not be best quality, because I'm like, dude, I gotta do this, this, and this, and get her done. So I'm hoping I don't see any white milky stuff on here, and it's a little bit darker than I wanted it to have. So you got some crap here. I hope you can see that. I don't know what you can see right now. That's a little bit more than I wanted, and this looks a little bit wetter than I like. Like they might have got some water in there. So, well, the good news is I have a replacement part, which is very expensive. The bad news is it looks like it's going to do like a 3-hour, maybe 4-hour job to get it cleaned up. But all right, so anyways, I don't know if you can see that, but that needs to be clean. Okay, and then so I'll do that. And let's see about the front here. So yeah, that's probably not good. I really don't like that, what I saw. So there's your O-ring. Hope you can see that on here. And so, well, we're definitely going to keep an eye on it. So I will put new fluid in, let it drain here for a few minutes, put new fluid in, and then take it out. It's supposed to change, I think, every 25 hours. And then I'll change it out, and if I have to, I will change out the whole part. Doesn't sound like a lot of fun. So anyways, you fill it back up in here until it comes out. I think on the piece of paper it said like 9.7 ounces or something like that. Okay, all right, good enough. All right, we're gonna do the rear gear case, or rear diff, whatever you want to call it. And here's our guidelines here. The torque, 14 foot-pounds, 8mm Allen wrench. And so what I like to do is I always like to loosen up everything before I take everything off, to make sure that the bottom's gonna loosen up and the top loosen up. Just like when I change oil, I want to make sure that the oil filter comes off before I can get the drain plug off. So sometimes these are really hard to turn, so you can take a box end wrench like this and go like this. That really helps as a cheater. So we'll see where we're at here. It looks like it's going to pee all over. It'll probably hit this pipe here, this frame, and then piss all over the place. So let's just see what happens. Oh, in the front, when I changed the front, the fill plug, I took out the other fill plug on my other parts four-wheeler, and the O-ring looked a lot better, so I just swapped it out. So if the O-ring was the problem getting water in, because it was kind of a brown color, maybe that's normal, but I just decided, hey, the other fill plug was in much better shape than the one that was on here. So let me see about getting a rag, kind of deflect some stuff. And then here's my makeshift funnel. If you have one of those pumps that you use to fill up your lower unit on a boat, something like that, for 10 bucks, that works great. Mine's on the boat, boat's not here, so I'm using this. All right, enough of all that foolishness. Let's get going here. Let's see what's gonna happen. Alright, getting there. Ah, you know what? That looks really, really good. You can see that, pick that up. That's like really nice. Oh, and I messed this up, but here's the magnet and the crap on there. Sorry about that. I should have had you look at it before I cleaned it, but that's what it looks like. Not too bad. Alright, so I'm going to let that drain for a little bit. And that one gets little over 7 ounces of fluid. So I guess you don't really need to see me do that, but I'll take it off and then kind of go like this and pour in 7 ounces and then tighten it up. So you clean this up. The torque on that's 14 foot-pounds. You know, make sure the metal part here, the O-ring, everything's good to go. Make sure you just check everything and we'll go from there. So I guess I can stop videoing this because you really don't need to see me put fluid back in, and then I'll come back and we'll change out the transmission. And that's going to take 37 ounces, and maybe you could pick that up down there. You need 2 quarts. So I'll let this sit for a while, and I'll loosen this up, let it breathe a little bit better, and we'll go from there. Alright, we're going to try to get this transmission oil changed. And as I talked about before, you might want to take this skid plate off, get this out of the way so you can get better access to it, and the oil can drain straight down. And that's a T40 on that to pull the 5 screws out. So you're good to go there. And then you know, this 8mm Allen wrench, boy, they had was on pretty tight, so I loosened it up right now. But I did have to use this technique with the Allen wrench and go like this. And up here is kind of the information. And I'm not really sure how much you can see. I don't think you can see the drain plug, but I'm going to use this funnel to stick it in there, and we'll see what happens. I've never done it before, so we'll see what happens. So let's get ready to have some fun, I guess. Man, 3 hands would be awesome right about now. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Well, we're certainly trying. We're certainly trying. So I got 80% of it in. That's alright. Looks pretty black. Glad we're changing it. Glad we're changing it. I don't know where I put the drain plug, but here's the fill plug. That looks pretty good, right? Oil ring looks pretty good. Put that out to the side. Let's see how bad this was. Not too bad. Not too bad. It was a big old airplane full of people that hopefully don't have the virus. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? So, let that go for a while, and going to go from there. So I'll fill it up. It's 37 ounces. And I'll use the same funnel and stuff like that. It's just going to take a long time. So I guess you don't need to see that.